Holy crap, we're back. Forbidden Door, I guess 2 Forbidden Door period just happened. It is the TSK. I'm jumping ahead of everybody. It's Rob, it's DC, it's Harold. Our minds are literally blown by whatever the fuck this main event was supposed to be. We don't know what it means. We don't know how to feel. But we know we had to record, and we know we had to bring it to y'all. So, without further ado, make sure you smash that fucking subscribe button, Max Wrestling, and let's get right into the fucking craziness. We're skipping the fucking beginning. Fuck 0 hour. We gotta talk Bryan Danielson beating, not just fucking pinning, but submitting the great Kazuchika Okada.
Clean. I couldn't believe it, bro.
Cleaner than the sheets that your mama told you to put on your bed. I could go on and on and on for hours, so I really got to ask you guys first. What are you feeling? What were your initial feels? What are you able to process right now in your brains?
As long as we've been doing this in the Discord chat, watching together, I think that was the first time collectively that our group was rendered speechless because we didn't even realize what we just saw. I think that 5 or 10 seconds after the bell rang and Okada tapped probably felt like 5-10 minutes because we were all just like, oh, so that happened.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Complete surprise. Utter shock, to be honest with you.
The only thing that I can really compare this to would be like A, John Cena tapping out, or B,
okay,
the breaking of the streak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where you kind of stop and you just think, what?
What just happened?
Like, I remember watching it and like hearing the bell ring. And and I remember saying like, did he tap? Mm-hmm. Like, you're Okada. You don't tap out. You get pinned. Yes. You don't tap out.
I know we were kind of talking about it yesterday, a potential finish, and I know we were all kind of leaning towards maybe like some sort of buckery with like a double count out or some interference or something. Because like realistically, who would take the pin in that scenario? Yeah.
There's some egos there,
and we found out. Boy, did we
I
find
honestly thought it was going to be a case of older generation passing it to a younger generation. I mean, I know Okada isn't completely young, but he's younger than the Danielson's generation. So I thought it was going to be a passing of the guard.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too, seeing as Bryan is probably his last full-time contract. He's probably on his way out. Oh, with Okada only being 35 years old, he's probably going to do this another 15, 20 years, easily.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the one thing that I know that I'm ringing in my head, and I've already heard the whole, it's far out. Wrestle Kingdom. If they can build the G1 tournament for fucking, 4.5 months prior to the event, about 5 months, you can spin this all the way to Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah,
and realistically, Wrestle Kingdom is probably not as far as like we think, because it's in January. Right. Well, here we are getting ready to head into July, so I mean, it's not as far as people think. I think it's definitely realistic if we see Danielson and Okada.
In terms,
we got Omega Ospreay. We saw that absolute banger. I mean, we're gonna get into the other one, but I mean, I'm talking Wrestle Kingdom. We've seen that. It's Bryan Danielson's turn now, and that also makes me think maybe there's going to be a lot more of the interjection of AEW at Wrestle Kingdom, or at least with a New Japan feel coming up, because we had a lot. We had a lot of guys going over and a lot of guys looking good.
Yeah.
In terms of professional wrestling, like, it's June. We're talking another 7 months. In professional wrestling, that's like no time at all.
None. Flies.
Like,
I mean, July 1st is Saturday.
For example, this whole, we'll use the WWE because it's easy. The Bloodline storyline has been going on for 3 years. Does it feel like it's been going on that long?
Hell, the Hangman Omega
There you go.
storyline went on 2 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we can't build for a long term, and this is definitely one to build towards. Perhaps you make it like a submissions only match, something. You know, maybe Okada wins the G1 or wins the belt. You know, in the night 2 thing, he's gonna face it for some. I don't know. There could be a bazillion different ways you spin it, but I absolutely feel that we have to get a Danielson Okada 2, whether it be at Wembley, that quick of a turnaround, or whether it go to an even bigger stage, in my opinion, in Wrestle Kingdom.
I didn't expect this to go to a second match. If it does, I'm all for it.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm even more excited for a second match now at the prospect of it as compared to the original. So please give me that.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think we even thought about this potentially even happening.
What I want an Iron Man match.
I like that.
Let these guys go for an hour.
Cooking.
Make them go for an hour.
Make them go for an hour.
That's what an Iron Man is, baby.
I think if you go to Okada and Danielson, you say, "Hey, 1 hour Iron Man match, can you do it?" Danielson's going to look at you and just going to say,
"Oh yeah."
They win about 30
cardio.
Minutes.
They got a solid set
I
in.
want to say about 30.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I can absolutely see him extending that double time, and then especially with New Japan and the 20 count and the fact that you're able to mess around outside a little more, and you can get away a lot more with laying on the mat because you're going to get that ovation from the crowd.
Very true.
There's a lot more that they can do to stall and spread the time out to make the match go longer. So yeah, I'm all for it. That's where I'm at. We have to get a rematch. At least I feel we're at that point. We have to get a rematch. Just where?
Match time was 27 minutes and 40 seconds.
We want a rematch.
It was
and
absolutely killer. I mean, go ahead, D.
To quote good old Dave Bautista, give us what we want.
Fucking A right.
We want a rematch.
Give us what we want. And yeah, exactly. It is a rematch. We could go spot for spot on that thing, but it's 2 matches on this entire show, or you have to go out of your way and see. This is number 2 personally on that list for me. The number 1 we'll get into after the 6-man, which honestly I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
I think we are a little taken back by the match placement of it.
Yeah.
Considering the match that it went after, I think that kind of diminished a little bit of expectation, if you will.
I love the beautiful word placement there.
Yeah. I think it was perfect for the buffer match in between Ospreay and Omega and Okada and Danielson. And I think,
but it didn't feel like a buffer.
Yeah. Everyone expected it to be a buffer match. Everyone expected it to be the silly old Jericho match. It was the silly old Jericho match. It was the better Jericho match. It was everything and more. It was as good as Jericho has ever been. Great.
Yeah. Well, New Japan guys do bring out the best in Jericho, I'll tell you that.
Facts.
Very true.
That's true.
So,
There's no lies
Naito
detected.
shined. Exactly. Naito shined. Sting took a gnarly shot from Sammy, and everybody just worried their ass off for a second. Sammy was apologizing. The ref was checking on him. Hell, even Naito at one point kind of gave him this look like, "You're not going to die, are you?" So it's, I'm always glad to see him. I love seeing him in the spotlights, especially with gigantic stars. You go out there, he fucking no-sold the table spot. I don't know anybody who no-sold the table spot at 60 years old, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, everybody was worried about their Gramps, but he got back up and got in the ring like nothing even happened.
Nobody was worried about it.
You could tell when Sammy was on that top rope piece thinking like, please don't die, Grandpa. Please don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, my goodness. This was fun, and it definitely gave a lot of these matches gave you the New Japan feel.
Yes.
You swore like Gato was here booking this show because nothing felt like filler. Nothing, not a single match felt like filler. Everything had a purpose, everything had a pace and a momentum, and everything went smooth. There wasn't a bad match on this show. This was, and I'm already jumping the gun because we still got to cover the whole rest of the show. But this is the best pay-per-view.
I agree.
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
I would say honestly, one of the best pay-per-views AEW has ever done.
Agreed.
Facts.
We go from their last pay-per-view, which to me was, compared to this, was the drizzling shits. Let's be real here.
It wasn't the best. So yeah, I mean, and we talked about it, which by the way is going to be one of those like hidden episodes that hits Max. So don't be afraid.
I will say this: I think this was probably the best pay-per-view of any company all year.
Agreed.
This is
yeah.
So
I don't see anybody beating it.
I like it all. I like WWE. I like AEW. I like all of it, but I can call it as it is. If I see something I like, I like it, and I will say it's good. If I see something and I think it's bad, I don't care who the mark is. I will call it out. You guys all know that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This was by far, just in the last 2-3 matches alone, like WWE, y'all got to step it up. You can do it. You have the potential.
They push the envelope. Who's gonna catch it now?
You got the potential. Step it up.
I guess we'll see on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, there we
go.
We'll have to see on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, obviously the Faces got the win, so good for them. But I've been scrolling. I'm staring at it. We have to talk about it. It's. If the main event didn't shock you, this match left you also in awe, but in a different feeling of awe.
Unbelievable.
Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, IWGP, World U.S. Heavyweight Championship.
39 minutes and 45 seconds.
You're kidding.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. In the amount of time that I was seeing it, I could tell what they were doing. They were taking a hour and 15-minute New Japan Classic. They were condensing it, and they were doing it to a T. I couldn't believe it.
The crowd loved it. Crowd was
some callbacks to their last match. Just a lot of really, really cool storytelling here, and honestly, that's no surprise, no shock from Kenneth and Bill.
I'll say this: like, those two are two of the greatest wrestlers of this generation. You talk like the 80s, you had Flair and Dusty, you had Flair and Harley Race. Like, each generation has their top tier. Like, in the early 2000s, we had Triple H as one of the top tier. Attitude Era, we had Rock, Austin. This generation, Ospreay and Omega.
I know we were even talking about it during the show that there's probably no company on this planet that would have a problem putting a belt on Kenny.
Not a one.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
Day one.
I mean, but that was the appeal, because we kept talking about how he kept getting hate, but yet for a guy who gets hate amongst people that don't see his way of wrestling, or maybe by chance are a little biased with somebody that they like, a beat writer or what have you, they refuse to see how good Kenny Omega truly is. And that's why we say this guy can go to any promotion. He can go to Impact, MLW, New Japan, All Japan, DDT. There's not a promotion out there that, whether they're streaming or not, whether they make millions or not, that they would not make him their world champion in a day.
On day one.
Within a week, at the fucking maximum.
Even WWE wants him.
Guaranteed. I'm gonna make this.
How?
They said the same shit about AJ Styles before he signed with them.
Yep.
Yep.
And they saw what he could do. Let's say, for example, WWE somehow pulls it up and was able to steal Omega away. Not going to happen, but let's just say hypothetically speaking. That happens.
Right.
Would it be that far outside the realm of possibility to see Kenny Omega win one of the world titles on day one? Like,
No.
it would be
I
believable.
don't think so.
It's
Like,
not far-fetched,
Yeah.
if that's what you're asking.
No, like,
No,
It's
whether
not.
he beats Seth,
Not at all.
like Roman, whoever.
He would be at minimum world heavyweight champion before the next following pay-per-view he would.
Oh, yeah.
debut on.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But I mean, we gotta touch a little bit about this match before I give my ultimate feelings on it, because again, this is another one I could talk about forever.
Yeah.
I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I even said the fact that this is one of those matches that you could sit down and quite possibly be brought to tears.
I
There's
was.
people that have that much love for this sport. It's hard not to feel emotions by what you're watching, because again, we said it went under 40 minutes. We felt like it almost went an hour. You know what I mean? It was that just, and we didn't know when it was going to stop. We didn't know how it was going to go. All of a sudden, Don Callis comes out, and you feel that the whole vibe is going to change, but it didn't. It didn't. Kenny overcomes the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't him getting his head fucking slammed everywhere in the most vicious way possible to get hard weighed, you know, it's fucking Will Ospreay willing to bleed like a stuffed pig all over the fucking place. And then it was lots of callbacks, again, like we said, to the Wrestle Kingdom match. It was just unbelievable. Quite possibly the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen.
Right.
And I've seen all the Okada Omegas. I've seen
Can we
Omega
talk about
Ospreay
the,
when they were at Wrestle Kingdom.
Can we talk about that DDT spot on the steps?
Oh,
Yeah.
That was rough. That was rough. Put some sauce on it.
Right.
Oh, there was sauce on the steps the whole rest of the
Sauce
show.
on the steps for the rest of the show.
Jesus.
Like,
I think as a fan, though, the best part of this match was them coming out to their New Japan entrances.
yeah.
Oh,
Hearing coming out to Devil Sky. Oh, there goes my tripod. Okay.
happens.
Will Ospreay coming back as the aerial assassin.
Yes, sir.
Coming out to his music. That was very cool.
Yeah.
It was, everything about this thing was cool.
I think, personally, the tears came from the fact that as a wrestling fan, I felt heard in what I wanted to see. I'm watching it. I go, do this. They're doing it. I go this many more minutes. They're going it. They're going past that.
And then some.
Like, I just felt like, and I feel like that's where the tears kicked in. I just felt like damn, like what am I seeing?
Our intelligence was not insulted.
Oh, by no means.
No.
To me, what I saw, apart from being a damn good match, I saw two guys who have an absolute love for professional wrestling. To me, this match was a love letter to professional wrestling.
God,
what it was. It was two guys who have to be in the conversation of the greatest of all time. I will say, Kenny Omega is this generation's Ric Flair.
By far. 10 times more
right.
Ric Flair. Let's go with that.
Yeah, and he doesn't drink, so there's that.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an equal comparison there, but I get what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is it's a love for wrestling. They're not in this to make a buck. If Kenny Omega was in this business to make a buck, he would have signed with the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He would be in the WWE right now. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, get out.
I had to.
This guy.
Boys, I had to.
The next one.
So I got.
But you get the point I'm making. You get the point I'm making.
Absolutely. But I just out of the craziness, because I know Uncle Dave's already getting ready to do his show with Brian, and we're already going to hear about it. I want to know from the TSK if you could put a star rating on this. If you could break the Meltzer system, what are you giving this? Again, the first one at Wrestle Kingdom was a 6-star.
I give it 33,000 chicken parms.
First off, I'm not turning down the chicken.
Extra prosciutto. I honestly think this is on the same level as Kenny and Okada. This was a 7.
7. I love that.
Yeah. For what it was, and given the time, and given this is something that American fans just ain't used to, I gotta go 7.5.
There we go, pushing the envelope. I'll stick with a 7 myself. I mean, if that means it's matching Omega Okada 3, well then give me fucking 7.25 to beat it, because I felt this was better than that, and it didn't even go as long.
Yeah,
so that's telling you something.
Yeah,
but this is. Go ahead, D.
I'm feeling 7.5. As I was watching it, I'm feeling at least that. But I don't like to go past the meter, so I'm gonna stick to 5 stars.
Yeah.
Right. If we're maxing the meter out, then guess what? It's a good old 5er.
But how many chicken parms? How many chicken parms is it getting?
How many chicken parms? All the
3
chicken
3/4
all the chicken
parms.
parms in Boston. Jeez. All the cutlets you got in the back. All right, let's keep it going. We don't have to start giving ratings for the rest of these, but Willow Nightingale getting her shot against Toni Storm, probably the most over woman wrestler on almost any
out of
company
nowhere.
right now. Out of fucking nowhere, 1,000% on that.
I mean, she was one of the ones that came in during the pandemic era.
She's been the biggest.
And look at her.
Biggest.
Look at her
shout
now.
out to Blue Sky getting her little shout out at the end of the match. It was kind of like she's getting a hot push too. Her and Willow having a little tussle.
Giving her something.
That might be best for business. I don't know who they were saying she was going after next. I don't know if it was Tony or Willow. I guess I assumed Tony because Tony won.
It's in the Owen Hart thing.
Oh,
so
shit. Okay.
She's going to take on the winner of Willow Nightingale, and I want to say somebody, I forget who. Anyway. But yeah, no, it's all because of the Owen Hart tournament.
Gotcha.
But it's good. I mean, that Sky Blue is getting
She's
a push.
getting it.
Good for her. I mean, Willow, like, again, I got to talk about Willow because, again, she came out of nowhere. She was literally somebody, and I think I've said this on fucking Max like 10 times over, where she randomly showed up on a GCW show, then she was on a Ring of Honor show, on a fucking Dark, a Rampage, Dynamite, boom, bam, blam. Here she goes. So, it's glorious shit. I love Willow Nightingale.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see this is where she's at.
Same, man. Just, from watching her on TV and then kind of experiencing it live, like, the atmosphere is so, like, it just changes once she hits the curtain, It's really infectious. And I think the thing that everybody likes about it is it's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
big time.
It's not necessarily her character. That's just who she is.
And I'll say this, like, I'm excited to see where she goes, like, because she's on radars, like she's on,
for sure,
she's got to be on, Triple H's radar, and you know what?
She's on everybody's radar.
If this allows her to make more money, good for her.
Yeah,
I am happy.
Sure. She deserves it.
Because if this allows her more bargaining room when her contract with AEW comes up, whenever it does, and this allows her to say, hey, they over there are offering me X, Y, and Z. What are you offering me? Good for her. I am happy for her.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And, not to really shine over Toni Storm because, she is a champion after all.
Facts.
Her getting, like, a legit run this time, even though she is a heel, is still proving to be worth its weight. I mean, granted, she got the title because Jamie got injured, but she's still having a solid run.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because she had a questionable
Absolutely.
title run, I feel like a lot of people didn't really give her the proper respect that she deserved, even though she did get a lot of respect with the first title run. But I feel like now it's re-solidifying that fact that Toni Storm is a solid top contender just as much as Hayter was
Exactly.
with the title.
Absolutely.
It's kind of ironic. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter got it because Toni Storm was injured. Toni Storm got it because Jamie Hayter got injured. Like, stay healthy, please. Like, everybody,
somebody
just stay
stay healthy,
healthy. Like, don't get hurt.
But with that being said, are we leaning towards, I think, what is the obvious at this point, Hayter and Storm at Wembley?
Oh
Yeah.
that's gotta
Yeah,
be it.
yeah. I mean, I don't think any, but I haven't. At least I haven't heard anything on Hater's status as far as her injury
I think
goes.
we have what about a month, right, before Wembley.
About a month, 5 weeks.
If you wanted to rush it, I don't think it'd be a mistake. But you could, and I think eventually we are going to get Toni Storm versus Saraya.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah,
And
I don't think anytime soon.
honestly,
yeah, I get you what you mean.
I think Toni Storm would be more effective as a face in that story. But that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Book in the head, but I like it already. You know what I mean? We got to figure out where we're going. We got lots of stars, and we need to fill them with something. So let's jump in. Hangman Page with the 10-man. Got Hangman, the Young Bucks, so the Elite, Eddie Kingston, Tomohiro Ishii against Blackpool Combat Club, including Takeshita and Shuta Umino. This was a whole big bag of fun. Shooter looks exactly as good as we always thought he was going to be, and he's just getting better by the fucking day, and I love it. I'm glad to see it.
absolutely.
I don't know. What else can we talk about this one? I mean, I know I was hoping for some kind of weird thing where we can introduce Coda, and here comes Coda,
Yeah.
and something about Coda, but no Coda, and I guess that's okay. I'll get over it at some point. I mean, hell, we found out that apparently Takeshita has a nice, sweet fucking name if he ever decides to go to Mexico.
Yeah, I feel like this match was on the level that you expected it to be. I feel like it didn't exceed expectations, and for some reason, I think everybody expected it to. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think because the feud has been going on for a bit now, you kind of expect them to like ramp it up each time.
Yeah.
Which from what it looks like, this is probably going to be the blood and guts match in the next 3 weeks.
That's fine.
Which hopefully will probably be the tail end of it. Maybe we'll get a Ibushi there.
I would think so. Since
since Kenny will be back with the boys.
Also, yeah, maybe
it's time to wrap it up.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's been a good run.
How it goes.
Personally, this is my favorite thing in wrestling right now.
Absolutely.
Bloodline is cool and all, but I like this a little bit better.
It's a different side.
For sure. I like
because,
that side. I like that analogy.
And this is what I always tell people. The difference is you watch AEW for quality of matches.
Fact.
You watch WWE to be sports entertained.
Factual. I mean, there's a different sense of entertainment.
There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with watching one or the other. There's nothing wrong with it.
Pretty much what you're emphasizing, though, is there's a glorified aspect to how you talk and how you present yourself, as opposed to the over-the-top wrestling rather than your persona in AEW.
Yeah. You like what you like, and there are certain things that AEW does better, and there's certain things that WWE does better.
Facts. And I love that because I'm going to use that as a segue because I don't think there would have been any way this match would have been any good in the E, and that's Sonata against Jungle Boy Jack Powell.
Yeah.
We were talking shit on it. I was talking shit on it. I didn't think that this match had any business being any kind of sort of good, And guess the fuck what? They told every single one of us to go fuck ourselves, and they put on something
They
very
did.
good.
To borrow a phrase from the late great Iron Sheik, they made us humble.
Hey, I love that. I mean, in all retrospect, if you want to play the technicality rule, Jungle Boy Jack Perry does not fit the weight qualifications to technically be a heavyweight
Nope.
in the eyes of New Japan. But they definitely made you feel at some point he might actually win.
Yeah.
Which is weird considering the fact of how he's been up and down and this and that.
Yeah.
But the match itself is what I want to emphasize for a second before we get to what happened after the fact. We also know that Sonata's not the greatest IWGP champion. But again, this is one of those ones where it's, maybe I'm not great, but watch me go out there and put on a show with somebody that you guys don't think is on my level.
Right.
Now,
And sure shit they
Sure
did.
shit.
I
they
remember Sonata when he was in TNA years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the great
And
Sonata.
seeing who he is now, the dude looks like money.
He does. Look
Like, how can you look at somebody like, honestly, if I'm Triple H and if I'm, whoever in WWE that makes those decisions, I'm looking at Sonata and I'm thinking, I want this guy.
Absolutely.
I want him. And
He's put himself on the map.
when his contract comes up, and I'm not sure how New Japan does their contracts,
Same thing, length time, all the time.
but Tony Khan's thinking that too. He's thinking, I want him.
I would.
Because
New Japan talent.
seeing him come out with that title, my God, he just looks like money. Like, I'm
Not only
seeing
that, I mean,
dollar signs.
I mean, not only that, as you emphasized, the Sonata of old, the guy that was the tag team guy, he was slimmer. He didn't have this look. He got buff. He got in shape.
Yeah.
He cleaned up his hair. He cleaned up his face. He looks like a main event guy.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like somebody that you want to put on a poster. And I like
Yeah,
that.
I would say the whole cowardly lion look wasn't really working for him.
No, sir.
But boy did they switch that up real quick.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
now
working.
to get to the fun part, we all saw it coming. I believe I even gave it a lackluster, it was all right idea of the turn that he did. He turned on Hook.
Called it.
It was as mediocre as can be. Everybody called it. Everybody's seen it coming. There was people in the bathroom that figured it was going to happen while they were in the bathroom. It happened. Now, I don't know where this goes. I guess it's going to go towards the FTW title, and it just makes it smell of desperation for poor Jungle Boy.
Because you really gonna make Hook give Hook his first loss to Jungle Boy?
Really? Thank you.
Really?
I believe when we recorded Max, I believe it was last week, I believe I even said that Jungle Boy would turn heel at this show.
Yeah.
I think you were right. I think you did.
I mean, between getting booed on Friday when he was wrestling Doki, and then all the online, since this match was announced, all just like everybody's turned on him.
I think,
Yeah, absolutely.
I've kind of turned on him.
occasionally,
Okay.
and I will say this, a heel turn or a face turn sometimes can be what a talent needs to get to that next level.
Right.
I can dig that.
Look at Orton. Look at Orton, for example. When he first came into WWE, he was nothing.
I mean, if Jungle Boy wanted to do that, then maybe he should have took some notes from Tommaso Ciampa.
Again,
Right.
another one. Another one.
Because that's how you turn heel.
Facts.
But once Ciampa turned on Gargano all those years ago, it worked. Now that Jungle Boy has turned heel, now this is a critical point with what they do with him. And honestly, I would drop the Jungle Boy shtick. I would just call him Jack Perry.
Well, I think that's the whole leaning towards that. So
It's the
Oh,
whole
sure.
Cut the
idea.
hair, drop the music, get new gear.
I don't know if he's gonna cut the hair, but and honestly, I said even as a heel, he should keep the music as a giant middle finger.
Yeah, I like that.
But I mean, we'll
He
see where
comes
it
out
goes.
kind of mocking him, dude.
No, exactly. You can play it up as a heel because that's what good heels do. They play it against
For
the
sure.
crowd. So I think that would work nicely, and it gives him a little something extra because he needs it. He needs all the help he can get trying to be a heel. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's hard for him right now. He's not the typical heel you expect.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I don't see him cutting his hair. I don't see him doing anything completely drastic. I see him being the mocking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
But speaking of the mocking asshole, and unfortunately in that instance, I'm talking about Jim Cornette. I got to talk about his favorite wrestler of all time, and that's Orange Cassidy, who
Pockets.
yet again
Call him by his
defines
name.
every single odd
Pockets.
possible.
Pocket.
Pockets. I'm so sorry. Pockets wins again.
I popped
Pockets
so
walks away
hard
with
for the
gold as he
win,
puts
bro.
it in his Jan Sport backpack.
I can't help it.
He
Looks like he should be bagging my groceries,
I
brother.
can't help it. I
thank
pop.
you. All the naysayers. He beat Danny Garcia, Shibata, and Zack Sabre Jr. in the same night at the same time. Who can beat
I love
this
it.
guy? He is hated. He is hated by nerds on the internet and beat writers that are trying to be relevant, but yet beloved by the other ones.
Mhm.
Who in the world can beat this man? Besides probably
Some-
Bryan Danielson.
Somebody has to. I mean, the poor boy is he's hurting.
Miro. It's got to be
He
Miro.
is taped up like a mummy.
He is hurting.
Danhausen can
I
do
don't have
it.
a problem with that.
That Orange is gonna come out just like a mummy wrapped in kinesio tape.
Mm.
Right? Or Danhausen. I like Danhausen.
You know what?
That'd be sweet. I like
I could see
move.
that.
That would be
Using some
different.
trickery.
This is
Oh, yes, bacon.
what I love about wrestling in general. Just that when really these multi-man matches where it looks like any one of them could win, and honestly, I can't speak for the rest of you guys, but I would have been fine with whoever won. Like, if Zack Sabre Jr. had won, cool. I would have been fine with that.
Cool.
If Shibata had won, okay. If Garcia, I mean, me being a Buffalo guy, was I kind of rooting for Danny Garcia? Not gonna lie, yeah. I was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I'd have no qualms with any of those guys being champion.
Garcia, I've said it before with other guys. Garcia is a future champion. He's a future world champion.
Yeah.
And I don't
Absolutely.
hear it.
I mean, if Shibata was on TV every week, I would not mind.
No.
Trust me, I was thinking the exact same thing. But it's the white guy won, and now it's who's going to actually beat him. Miro's a good option. There's a plethora of other ones, I'm sure. But
Jungle Boy, even.
He's going to continue to rub it in the faces of all the haters for as long as we can get it, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it.
Now, to tie in with the last match, what if Jungle Boy is the one?
Sure.
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with the singles
I'm
titles
alright
at the
with
same
that.
time. I actually don't mind that.
I mean, what a better way to cement his title. And I'm sorry, but the FTW title means jack shit.
No, you're not.
It doesn't mean anything. And I'm sorry, but the only reason that they still have it and that Hook still has it is because Taz is his daddy.
Taz is your daddy. Speaking of Taz as the daddy, your kid is getting his ass beat. Go save him. Get your ass off commentary and go save your fucking kid.
I think that would have made a bit more of an impact.
He's too fluffy. Taz is too fluffy to do that.
So what? Just chase him away then. It's just something.
Maybe if they were up there on the ramp like where they normally are, he probably would have got up, but because they're down there by the ring.
Up the ramp, and then I gotta go back down the ramp.
Well,
No.
Junkie only did a
Not
clothesline, right? He didn't keep it going after the clothesline.
No.
Yeah.
It was
that
just a
it.
sucker punch, and then he walked away. What does Taz?
I mean, do we all remember? Do we remember Taz's last match and how utterly god awful it was?
I don't think so, and I'm trying not to remember. So let's.
Yeah, I don't.
It was Taz versus Jerry Lawler at One Night Stand.
Oh, God. Next.
Literally,
I'm already
literally,
sold.
all it was
That
all it
sounds
was
terrible.
was bell ring, Taz mission, tap out, over.
Smell you later.
It's all
Peace
lost.
out, adios. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was bad.
So let's talk about it. We're almost towards the end, believe it or not. Going backwards seems to be like a heck of an idea. We're streaming right through this piece. CM Punk and the Owen Hart tournament defeated my man Kojima. We were all praising Koji. We were all hoping for Koji. We were hoping he would land not only the chops but that strong lariat, and we didn't get it. Is heel Punk right now? Is he a thing, or was he just playing the Toronto crowd?
He's playing the Toronto.
Oh, I got
had
something to
to.
say about. I got something to say about this shit.
We'll go, baby. Come on.
If people cannot see this shit, this tournament is set up for Phil to win it all. Phil is going to win the Owen Hart tournament this year. He is.
He's the Bret Hart guy.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
don't.
he said.
And I will say this about him. He has become the very thing he used to rail against, the very thing he used to hate. He's become that guy.
Of course.
Oh, the hustle, loyalty, respect fella.
He has become that bitter old hang-arounder.
He's become the New York Yankees.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, first off, don't you dare talk about the Yanks. All right, got Yogi Bear right there and Derek Jeet. How you doing?
You're talking to a New Yorker. You watch it.
I'm a Cali Yankee fan. If you don't chill out.
When was the last time a Cali team has won a World Series?
I don't
If
give a shit.
3 years ago,
Yeah,
actually.
Hey,
Dodgers?
with the Dodgers.
How many? How many?
3. The Dodgers.
27 was it world titles? 27?
Yeah, we got 27. I was only alive for 4 of them, but we can talk about baseball a whole different day. But yet again, as much as Punk is the Yankees, Kojima went out there and again another dude who people are gonna bag on because they only know him as him and a tag team guy. He was a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion and held, I want to say it was All Japan's Triple Crown champ at the same time.
MLW
So
champ, too.
Koji was legit. Hey, don't forget the ML hits. Koji's the man. Koji's been there, done that. Good respect for him. Hope he comes back. Punk moves on. It's obviously set up for him. We get that. But I got to ask that because we're going to segue right into that guy. Does that mean, are we leaning, I should say, towards Punk and MJF already?
I don't want it, but if it happens, that's fine. The dog collar match was great.
Yeah.
I'll admit that.
I made this prediction. I'm going to make it again. We all have said that MJF should have turned him face. We've all agreed with that, right?
Right.
But and I think the problem is they are going to book CM Punk as the face in that feud. But the fans are not going to want it. The fans are going to want to cheer MJF.
Right.
And I said it before, and I will say it again. CM Punk is going to be the one to beat MJF.
I hate that. You understand?
Hate it so much.
You know that I'm right.
With a fucking passion, brother.
The 3 of you know that I'm right. And then you know what's going to happen? CM Punk's going to get hurt again. He's going to get hurt again.
Why we hate it, big dog.
That's on Tony.
Putting the world title on him again is fucking stupid.
He'll be a 3-time world champion with a 24-day reign.
That's right. I was gonna say 24 fucking days. You know what? I'll accept the notion of Punk winning if he is just a strict transitional champion for the guy that should be AEW world champion, regardless of whatever bullshit story he's in, and that's Kenny Omega.
You know, here's what you
He
do.
just proved that guy is the most over motherfucker there is in this goddamn company.
Here's what you do.
Whether he lost or not.
CM Punk wins it at a pay-per-view on a Saturday or a Sunday, or whenever the fuck they're going to do it. The following Dynamite, he drops that shit to Kenny Omega in a goddamn squash. Done. CM Punk rides up into the sunset, never to be seen again. Fuck you. Goodbye. You're done.
Wishful thinking.
Right.
Kenny Punk would probably be the best main event for Wembley if they can make it happen before then.
I could. Yeah.
Let's
Right.
do it.
Honestly,
With that being
if you're
said,
gonna do that, if
Go
you're
ahead,
gonna
G.
do that match, Double or Nothing 2023.
Can we just do
You
double?
need
Or nothing?
I think you mean all out.
All out there. You go.
Whatever the event was, but
That
double, 1 year to the day of Punk being a douchebag and being a whiny little bitch, and
Oh yeah, brawl out.
Oh,
That's all out.
That one.
Yep. The all out fallout.
That's after All In. A week after.
There we go.
I think it's gonna be in Chicago too. So
Nice match.
So again, before we hit MJF, because it popped into my head, I gotta ask you guys because you guys have Austin's opinions. Does Bryan Danielson's win make him #1 contender,
maybe.
or does it make him like in the running for #1 contendership of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship? Should he be the next guy to face
Sonata and Bryan?
Okay, here, I got it.
That would be
I got
fantastic.
a perfect storyline, and you hear me out. All in Wembley, you got Sonata versus Bryan Danielson for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. Danielson wins it. Then Okada wins the G1. Wrestle Kingdom, we get Okada, Danielson 2. Okada gets it back at Wrestle Kingdom.
Jesus.
I love that. My only issue is does Gato sign off on Sonata losing on a non-New Japan show?
That's probably the only hang up. And he might.
Money.
Because it's Bryan.
And it's money.
Baby, he makes money by the day. Bushi Road makes money waking up.
And I
That's how they
guarantee
do
you,
in Japan.
Big true.
Work out some deal with Tony Khan where you have Danielson come over and do some New Japan shows. You work with some of the crop of talent they've got. Tony Khan would sign off on that.
Absolutely. But again, as Rob and I just pointed out, you got to look at Gato. It's not just about what TK can do and how he can finagle and finiggle. Gato likes things done the Gato way.
Beyond that,
So
beyond Gato.
Again, I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm just saying, as much as it's a dream factor, we have to also take into reality what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking
I'll
love
say
it.
beyond
I think
Gato.
it's a hell of a fucking storyline.
Beyond Gato, if the ownership of New Japan can see the opportunity to make money here, which this is straight up money, they can tell Gato, do it.
Well, because here
Well,
go ahead.
Japanese people aren't like Americans. They don't care about money.
Again, money is not an object to them, but I understand that. But
It's not.
here's one thing that they do like. They do like more exposure. That's one thing they do like. They do like garnering bigger audiences, whether they be from across the seas or not. And that's one way you can do it. If you have Bryan Danielson hanging out on Dynamite, on Rampage, Collision, whatever shows he's going to show up on, rocking the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, that's going to get you eyes on that product. It's going to want to make you figure out, how did he win that? Who did he beat? What's going to happen next? When's he going to defend it? Then on top of that, if you can make him champion early enough, he can go back to Japan and face the New Japan Cup winner to prove that he's that strong, have his debut match in Japan prior to Wrestle Kingdom.
Think of what Jon Moxley being the GCW World Champion did for them.
That's true. It's very true.
It's very true. That's very true.
That's just what I'm saying. Exposure is one thing that the Japanese do not want to turn down. And they got a little bit of it from Hiroshi Tanahashi against MJF. Can he, is MJF officially that guy? Can he just work with anybody, or is Tana just that fucking good?
Both.
I think both.
Agree.
Harold's, I don't know. Harold's indifferent.
Tanahashi, he's slowed down a bit over the years.
He's getting older.
A lot of it.
But that match was pretty good on both ends of it. And I honestly don't believe MJF carried that entire match. A lot of it has to be credited to the experience of Tanahashi, for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Tanahashi. Tanahashi is the man. He can carry anybody at any time. We knew this was going to be at least on the level of good. I think it was a little bit better than good. MJF
Yeah.
It was solid.
is MJF. He retains his gold. It just... The question, it just continues to be who it's going to be. And we already covered a bunch of different guys who it could be. And it just, it makes me salivate. You know what I mean? Yes, you can complain that he doesn't fucking defend the belt.
He doesn't need to.
Yes, you can complain that all he does is fucking talk. But the reality of the matter is regardless of his opponent, whether it be a Hiroshi Tanahashi, an Adam Cole on a random Dynamite, you want to watch.
Yeah.
When his matches happen, you want to watch. You're not like the other dude, not like the other guy that doesn't like wrestling for months on end. Him, you've already gotten sick and tired of. You've already heard everything he's got to say 10 times over. It's the same fucking thing. Oh, he's just going to win anyway. At least Max is going to go in there and do something different every single time.
And Max is one of those guys that he's a student of the game. He's a fan just like we are. And he's even said he watches everything. I mean, he says he doesn't watch New Japan and he loves to rail on it, but you know he watches it.
Of course.
He called him an indie for crying out loud. It's great.
And
he called him an indie.
A great world champion is somebody that you think, oh, this is finally going to be when they lose it.
Right.
You know, that you have that belief, even though you know that Tanahashi was not going to win the world.
No.
It wasn't going to happen.
As much as it sounded cool, don't get me wrong, the idea of maybe Tanahashi hanging out on Dynamite, defending it against people on a random basis, yeah, it sounds cool, but we knew it wasn't going to happen.
No. It just wasn't going to happen. But honestly, you know, I'm gonna say it. I think MJF is the greatest world champion out there right now.
He's definitely on top of something, that's for sure. I don't want to say he's better than Roman, but
I'll say it.
You can make an argument.
I will say
an AEW guy, while also a realist, I can make that debatable argument. I will always side with my guys, so of course it's going to be MJF. But the reality of the matter is both of these guys are doing their job right. Yes, you hate one guy a little bit more, or vice versa, depending on your like of which company, but they're doing great. And it's going to be a shock to see who beats them, when they beat them, and in all reality, that just builds the anticipation of their reign.
CM Punk and Corey.
So, oh, yeah.
Y'all know I'm right.
Don't do it to me.
Y'all know I'm right.
Oh, don't do it to me. All right. Well, I do want to touch a little bit on like the pre-show. I don't know if you guys caught a majority of the pre-show. Billy Starks.
Yeah, it was cool.
Billy Starks. I mean, another one. I mean, Nick Wayne just graduated high school. He makes his AEW debut, I want to say July the 12th, the same day as my wife's birthday. So, you know, that's awesome. Guy just graduated high school. And another one, Billy Starks. She just had a Ring of Honor Women's Championship match against Athena. Another one, just graduated high school. I love seeing this.
It was actually an Owen Hart tournament match.
Oh, was it? Oh, well, then pardon my French. You know, I'm over here thinking that she was getting the big time. But, hey, it is what it is. It's still a big-time match on a pay-per-view, whether it be the pre-show or not. It's against a champion. El Phantasmo, I'm saying this not to be because of give me all the guys you can give me in a bloated roster, but I hope he's a free agent soon because I love El Phantasmo.
For sure.
He's excellent.
Soon.
Him and Stu Grayson was a perfect combination of talent together. I mean, they're both very lucha.
Canada boys. Canada boys.
Can't go wrong with the Canadian boys.
But
and then on top of that, Stu Grayson hanging out with the
Righteous.
Is it the Righteous?
The Righteous. The Righteous.
Thank you. It works. I don't know what it is, but it fucking works. And I love the snapping. I love the whole thing. This is a cult leader. This is how you do cult leader shit. If you're the fucker that's watching this and you're stealing notes, steal that bit of note and take it to somebody on that side and tell them this is how we should have did the Fiend. Plain and simple. DC's dying to say something. What you got for me, D?
No, what I saw that I enjoyed. It was highly enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what was the first one? It was
the first match was the Mogul Embassy against Chaos and El Desperado. That's fucking weird.
That was a very weird one, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure El Desperado was with Suzuki Gun, and they hated Chaos. So it was
Right.
It was one of these like, huh?
I mean, Desperados isn't just five guys now, but
That's true.
like they couldn't get somebody from Chaos to come over. Like,
Of all
what the hell?
All right, where's Taguchi? Where's old man Taguchi? You gonna tell me he couldn't come over and fucking dress up in his fucking football gear, his rugby gear, and run the ropes?
Like you couldn't get Toro Yano to come over.
You couldn't exactly. You couldn't get Yano to come on, you guys. But anyway,
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
There was another match actually. Lij, Shingo Bushi and Hiromu against United Empire.
Oh, that's right. That was a fun one.
Why?
Popping back in my head, the TJP is a part of United Empire.
Why is Swerve Strickland not higher up on the goddamn fucking card?
They need to get him away from the faction. I know we kind of
What if Swerve is the one to beat Orange?
That's what we're hoping for.
I mean, he's number one on my list. And again, it's not that I don't love Orange. I just feel like now's the chance to take on Swerve, and giving him that belt. That belt is super fucking recognizable right now. Is the perfect way to do it.
Sometimes,
not the TNT, not some bullshit other belt, but the
sometimes
internet.
You gotta take chances with titles. You gotta say, okay, I'm gonna take a chance with Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Swerve is somebody that is money.
Big time dollar bills. This show was money. It was probably the greatest show we've seen in the last 2 years. I don't even know.
Easy.
I'm still in awe. I can't wait to rewatch it. If you haven't watched it, you need to go check it, or at least at the minimum, go get your highlights going. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap it on up out of here. But before we do that, we're going to get into the fun plugs. Rob, 100 days, 100 riffs, or whatever it goes. How's that going? How's the TikTok live treatment?
We're on day 56. We're gaining some momentum on the TikTok and the Instagram and all the socials. If you want to see what I've been cooking up, hey, Linktree, hey, it's Rob. You got all my socials, all my music. Come listen to some riffs. Come say hi.
They are more than just metal. Trust me, he has got a whole variety. It is damn worth the listen. Harold, you went to my second favorite place in the entire world, Palm Springs. I'm so jealous. What went down? What was the reviews like? Hit me with some stuff.
Palm Springs is just the place to be. If you're just trying to chill out, be romantic, have a couple drinks, cruise on the golf course, walk through downtown, rub elbows with celebrities. We got to step into Frank Sinatra's front yard. The gardener said, "No gente, take pictures." Coolest shit. If you like adventures in California, food taste reviews, check out the Two Sweet Click Adventures on YouTube.
That's right. And for damn sure, you're going to be able to hit that link down below in the description. So do that. DC Thursday is Trivia Takeover. Last week was the TSK Takeover of Max Wrestling. We have a tag team title match. Not only do we have a tag team title match, it's mano y mano and another round of King of the Mic.
Y'all know I'm a straight shooter.
How you doing?
I know the last one ruffled a couple feathers, so
we don't play lightly. You know what I'm saying? We play rough around here.
Yeah, let's find out.
It's all good. I'm not tripping. It is what it is, because the reality of the matter is Max Wrestling and the King of the Mic, as they used to say in WCW, is where the big boys play. The TV tournament, the King of the Mic tournament towards the television championship has been all the fucking hype. I cannot wait to keep it going, keep it rocking. Whether I come out the winner and or the loser in this one against DC, it's been fun none the fucking less, and I will keep on going. I also have a fucking I'm doing triple, quadruple duty if you include my hosting duties. I have my fucking world championship match, my championship match of loyalty, if you will. So Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired already. And speaking of that, we got English homework due by midnight. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. But there it is. This is done. We're dropped. Double or Nothing review that was supposed to drop. It is a random episode that will drop on the Max Wrestling site. Don't worry about it. But this is gonna drop as soon as we can get it to do so. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We will catch y'all around the bend for the next time. Probably gonna be a lovely building of All In at Wembley. All right, boys, hit me with the too sweet. Let's get on out of here.
Boys.